I'm very pleased to present Thomas Heimann again at the Berlinale, this time with a new documentary called The Queen Has No Crown. It sounds very glamorous in a way.
It's very glamorous.
She has no crown, but still it sounds very glamorous.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She has no crown, I have no crown, Israel as a country has no crown. You know, it's get many kind of meanings. So just to explain, it's the opposite of glory. It's about people that look for meaning and for the choices in life. And it's very fresh. It's come from the oven to the Berlinale, to the international world premiere. And all of us very exciting because my mother was here, my brother, my nephew. It's about three generations in my family.
You're portraying your family in this film, including you in a way. And the first question when I had finished the movie, I kind of felt that one of the motives from your perspective was because you show, as you said, your mother, your parents, your brothers, you're 5 in total, I think. Yeah. You, your nieces and nephews, like all these generations. And I had the feeling that one of the motives you had was also to find, as a gay man, your position in this family.
Completely. It's one of the main issues. Like, you know, we are very male family. Grandfather, father, 5 sons. The only female character person, it's my mother. And I'm the only gay one in the family. So it's always been like a little bit outsider. Even I'm surrounded by a beautiful family.
Yeah, that,
you know, that's very open.
Very clear. Yeah,
5 years old daughter, like she's told me what's the big deal. I mean, but you know, still like all the time I was asked about family, kids, you know, this kind of issues. And I tried to, I mean, the Queen Has No Crown about his 15 years about, you know, growing up as a gay guy in Israel and to share it with people.
Another relationship which was very crucial to me was the relationship to your niece. It becomes very clear that there's a lot of affection and love from both sides, that you, in a way, really want to take care of her adolescence, of her becoming a woman or something. What is so special about this relationship to her?
She was kind of a tomboy. As a little kid, she was a tomboy.
And you were hoping there's another queer person?
I wish for another queer. I don't want to be the only queer in my family, you know. I wish like, hey, I need to share it with someone. And she was really young, and I don't know, we had a very amazing connection. And the weird and the amazing thing that I felt more open talking with 5-year-olds, my niece, than with my brother and with my family. And when she was so young, I shared with her, I'm gay, do you think it's a big deal? Why everyone talked about it like it's something different, and then she growing up to another thing. Then you know you see her as a young woman, and yeah, she's very special.
So is she queer?
She's not queer, but I can say it now because it was already out in my family. Her sister came to my brother and said, "Hey, Father, I have to tell you something." She took him to the river. She played with him a game with hand. I will tell you many questions, and if you say yes, it's like this. If no, you take your hand. Father, do you like me? Father, do you know I'm soon? And Father, do you know like I'm attracted to women? I'm queer. I'm lesbian. And she shared with me this moment with him, and it was very strong because he was surprised. He know that his brother is gay, but he never thought about his daughter, but the beautiful thing that he was very simple, and he just came and hugged and hold her hand like this, and she told me, wow, this is a big different revolution and generation, because my father immediately, you know, didn't put guilty on it and didn't make sense. Like he said, you are my daughter, and that's it. So it's very fresh in my family, but it's not the young girl from the movie, but the sister, and yeah, I have a queer.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
Can you a little bit describe the way you grew up, the dynamic of your family, also maybe how this male dominance influenced you as a gay man?
I came from a very old-fashioned, even in some way primitive place, small village in Israel. You know, it's like, here is my brother, he's laughing because... Okay.
Oh, that's the... Oh,
right.
Right.
My brother.
But is that the one who...
against my mom.
Yeah, but in the end he lives in Israel?
Yeah, he lives in Israel.
In the end, he tells you that you should actually also become get children and
No,
do
this is my
something
twin.
social?
My
your
twin.
That's your
I have a
twin,
twin
right.
that teasing me always
That
about
you
having
don't-
kids.
shouldn't also
Come
follow
on,
the sexual...
leave your movies, leave your documentary, go to have family and kids. And my young brother, he's really about women. He's really straight. He never understood my attraction and why I always focus when I go around and my body focus. And you know, I'm gay. I mean, it's it's not a secret. But back into your question, I'm coming from a laid-back family and laid-back village, and it means if you are men, you go into the army. If you are men, you cannot be gay. It's not working together. I'm talking about 20 years ago, okay? But just to share with you the background I was growing up. And you need to work hard with your parents, you know, in the village, in the farm. So that's one of the main reasons I went to serve in the Israeli army in a very tough unit. Even I was gay, I was in the closet and I was afraid and I didn't want to talk about it. I hide it, I was paranoid about it, I was afraid from it, and I just say, no, I'm not gay, I will never be gay.
How did you see reality then? Like how did you live your life?
I felt or I wish for myself that it will disappear. This gay feeling in my body, that one day someone will take it from me. It's ridiculous, I know, but it's like,
no, it's not
that was my
ridiculous.
feeling.
That's the reality.
I was a young man around 18, 19, 20, surrounded with male country, macho country, you know, going to the Israeli army, do whatever you need to do, find your woman, have kids. And it took me time. And you can see it in The Queen is No Crown, one of the beautiful scenes when I hold the camera on my soldiers that I'm in the army, when I look at them and still I'm not able to say, look, I have something that I want to share with you, so I do it through the camera. And then the sad things or the hard things for me when I came to say to my family I'm gay, and it was a little bit big issue and it took time. 2 months later, my parents decided to divorce because it was too much for them and they separated. And it was
too much. Their relationship was too much, or the way
their relationship. But the
gay?
issue about being gay for my mother, when she realized she cannot share it with my father, and she told me, you know, after you say you are gay, and I came to your father because it was so heavy for me, and I need to talk with him about it. And then 2 months later, they divorced. And that's the starting point of The Queen is No Crown. From this point, you know, it's a family, and it's moving from the straight and the gay, the national and the personal, and it's all these levels together, you know.
Yeah. Your mom is a very strong woman.
Strong,
very
hard,
strong
beautiful,
person.
but also can be very impatient, and she's
but loving and strong.
Very much. And the idea that my mother allowed me to film her in this way and gave me the support and the trust to put her in The Queen is No Crown this way, I'm not sure that so many mothers will agree. I don't know about your mother, if she's alive or not.
She's alive. She's the opposite of your mother. She's
which
very
way?
introverted,
Really?
very German,
So she will not let you to...
maybe in 20 years.
Not now.
Not now. No. Never,
Wow,
never.
interesting.
But I was wondering if you can see your mom a little bit. She as a matriarch, you know, she had this a little powerful position.
She's all over the motherland. She wants all her sons around her. She wants all of them to live in Israel because she belongs to these people who believe that Israel is the only place for Jews. And now, slowly, like her children leave the country, and she don't know how to deal with it.
And that is my point, because I think I would define her as a matriarch a little bit, but then the movie really clearly shows that she's in a way really losing her power because 3 of her sons are leaving to the States.
I'm so happy you said, because that's the reason I call it The Queen is No Crown. Because in some way she's a queen, and also Israel is kind of the queen, but both of them, Israel, the country, and my mother lost it or never had it or whatever, they don't have a crown. Because my mother, once the children left, she's empty, she's lonely, and it's very hard. And that's the reason at the end of the movie, she tried to tell me, what with you? Are you going to do kids for me? Are you going to stay around me? Like, hey.
So are you going to make kids for her?
I don't know. I'm sure I won't make it because to let my mother to be more happy. I don't think we must have kids in our life. I mean, in Israel, it's quite crazy, this issue and obsessive about having kids and family. I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with my little babies, with these movies. And maybe one day, I don't know, I have to feel the needs for it. Sorry, I have to feel the needs for it. You know what I mean? As I have passion to do movies, and that's my life, and that's what I want to do. If I will feel it with kids, you will find me maybe one day in a few years here with a little kids on my yeah, and then
Okay. How did you experience this? How long did you shoot? For what?
It's about 15 years, 700 hours of footage. It's a long, you know, from everyone, we're very young and growing up, and then you see like all the process, you know, everyone like time pass about all of us. And I mean, the best way to see it is by two ways, I think, in the movie. It's first of all how everyone grow up, and second, if you remember, like this strong demonstration when I'm going against gays in Jerusalem, and then at the beginning of the movie, you see a beautiful gay march in Tel Aviv. It seems beautiful, and I went there and I found my lover. Later on, we are separate, and then 10 years later in Jerusalem, it's the gay parade, it's violence against gays, and it's crazy. So you see in 10 years how Israel more and more violent society and more violent country. So it's another aspect of time in the movie.
Another thing which was very prominent to me was that you seem to be a very romantic person.
I have my romantic
very,
side, yeah.
Very loving. And
by which way you say it? By why you
because there's this scene where you with your former lover,
yeah,
and it's a very intimate scene where you ask him if you will make love this night, and if
I write
you will
graffiti
share some
for him.
affection. Yes, and it's it's very expressive and loving. But at the same time, I think especially this topic is romance within the gay culture and gay life, gay male life often too. It's very difficult to combine.
I know, but I have problem with like kind of the gay direction, which mean, okay, there's a lot of other issues, but you know, something very shallow. I cannot have it in my life. You know, when I meet someone and I love him and I'm like a little boy, I want to share it. I want to write it on walls. I want to shout it all over, and I want to share it and not to keep it and not just to think about the next sex club, and you know what I mean, like, and to create something deep.
And do you think this comes from your family?
I
The
think
way you were
yes.
shaped in
I
your
think
family?
this kind of values from my grandfather, from my parents, that from life you need to create something else, not just to let the life going through stupid things and no, looking for the meaning, looking for something else. So the same I do it with my movies, with my brother. It's with my partner, my boyfriend, my lover. When I sit with him and I say, I love you, you know, and I want to spend the night, and it was honest, and it was because I was so in love with him, like, and I don't want to keep it to myself. Stupid to die one day and
stupid. It's very stupid.
Yeah,
super stupid.
And then and the sad thing is like when we broke up, when he left the house, when I was so broken, I was so crazy, like I lost my mind. So I put the blue and I paint the wall again to put the blue about the beautiful graffiti I wrote to him, because I felt...
You want to erase?
Yeah, I want to erase it.
Okay.
So I have also the opposite in the movie, the pain and the suffering after but we created amazing relationship.
So what did you learn about yourself, and what did you learn about your position in your family? Do you have one now?
Yeah, I think that I learned that I am allowed to say my position in my family. It's not making kids, not create a family. It's to document the family, to hold the camera and to have the history of my family. I took this job. No one gave it to me, but I took it. I just said one day, look, when we all of us together in Passover night, all the Jewish family together. So I stand and I say, I don't know, 2 years ago, I took this job. Are you allowed me? And then it was hand, and most of the people say, we vote you. And the little kids say, yeah, we will vote Tomer to this one who document the family.
Your family.